This is Valley News Live at 10.
Welcome to Valley News Live at 10. I'm Stacy Van Dyke.
I'm Justin Betty, looking live outside the Night Dakota Magic Casino. Is that what we still have up here? No, we have Family Ford in Fargo, where you see the winds whipping, but no real snow or visibility issues.
But this is video of viewers sent in of Highway 210 near Fergus Falls. Cars at a standstill following a semi-accident, one of more than 150 accidents or spinouts that Minnesota troopers responded to this evening.
Rough conditions on the roads. As for what's next in the weather department, Chief Meteorologist Hutch Johnson joins us now live with the latest. Hutch.
Stacy, thanks. Justin, didn't mean to throw you a curveball. I switched that camera on you right before we started as we were looking around. Here in the FM area, you're right. In town, we haven't seen a reduced visibilities like they have in open country. But now as we head into the overnight hours, we're changing our focus. That blizzard warning is done, but we'll still have some areas with blizzard-like conditions with very gusty winds over 40 miles per hour, and then dangerous wind chills take hold. Let me show you what we're watching too. Peak winds hit over 60 miles per hour in that James River Valley and the Carrington area, and they continue to rip over 40 miles per hour in southeast North Dakota. A look at those current wind speeds showing that the Southern Valley has the strongest winds, but still over 35 miles per hour up north. Now, we have no travel advised Highway 2 up in portions of the Grand Forks area from the Fisher and Crookston area into Grand Forks. And then most of the Fargo zone here in sector, no travel advised in Minnesota, and Highway 210 from that Breckenridge area to the Fergus Falls area has been, well, it's closed. Still some no travel advisories across parts of north central, northeast, and the Fargo sector of North Dakota heading into the overnight hours. Difficult travel, reduced visibilities, under a mile at times up north. Mahnomen, a quarter of a mile visibility there, 2.5 miles in the Gwinner area, as some of the winds are starting to subside just a pinch. Well, we got clearing skies and the cold takes hold. That's our concern now. We'll have wind chills down to around 40 below zero overnight, and first thing for those school bus riders, we'll have the latest, and make sure you check the bottom of your screen here. There are already delays coming in.
All right, thanks so much, Hutch.
Meanwhile, tonight, several local health care facilities are following new guidance regarding COVID tests.
Valley News Team's Nishay Taylor explains why some local health care providers say they won't test you.
At-home COVID-19 tests are becoming more available, some health experts say.
If you have a positive at-home test, there is no need to repeat that with a medical facility.
Many health facilities, including Sanford, will no longer offer a test if you have tested positive for COVID at home. Sanford health officials say they are already administering record numbers of tests.
We're doing at Sanford about 7,000 tests going to our reference laboratory a day, and that's not even including the antigen tests that we're doing rapidly in the clinic.
Doug Griffin, the medical officer at Sanford, says they have plenty of tests, but they do not have the staffing to handle the high demand. But how accurate are at-home tests? Griffin says vary if you're actually COVID positive.
98-99% accurate for people with symptoms, and that could even be mild symptoms. So
if you do not have symptoms, that percentage drops. And there are other complications like a user error.
False positives are very rare. It's more likely to have false negatives.
If you do test negative but have symptoms, you could be sick with something else. Health experts still recommend visiting your primary care doctor for an evaluation. In Fargo, Nishay Taylor, Valley News Live.
Sanford health officials say they're planning to start asking if a person has had a positive at-home rapid test before offering you a test.
Meanwhile, you're now able to order your own free COVID test from the government a day earlier than promised, though it's not as robust a program as some may have thought.
Here to show you exactly how to place an order is Valley News Team's Kaylee Chella. Kaylee?
Hey guys, thanks so much. The website is covidtest.gov, and it launched in a beta phase today. It wasn't actually supposed to officially launch until tomorrow. And as promised, the tests are free, but the catch is right now you can only get one order of 4 tests per home address, regardless of how many people you have living there. So if you were like me, living in California when I first moved there, had 6 people, oh, guess 2 people are out of luck. You can only get 4 tests. The website itself, there's a big blue button that says order free at-home tests. You click that, it brings you to a new page where you put in your first name, last name, and shipping address. I know that's kind of hard to see. See if I can bring it up for you. And then it's that easy. You click this green button over here. As you can see, the totals will show 0 subtotals, 0 shipping and handling. You click checkout now, and it's that easy. The website says the orders will start shipping out later this month. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Kaylee. Mixed news, but by the way, as far as the actual COVID-19 numbers in our region tonight, both North Dakota, we'll show you here in a video, as well as Minnesota on the bottom of your screen are seeing record numbers of confirmed cases, though hospitalization numbers have not changed as dramatically. Another sign that this Omicron variant much more easily transmissible, but generally less severe than previous strains. An update to a Valley News Live investigation tonight. Both the Fargo Police Department and its chief questioned by city leaders today after 35 officers resigned from the department in less than 18 months. While many locals and city commissioners say these numbers are cause for great concern, Fargo Police Chief David Zabalski says it's not as bad as it seems.
I don't think the department is in crisis. I think the department has some challenges. The big thing in the community is they are safe, and our cops are out there making sure they're safe.
Again, many places have had issues with staffing over the last couple of years, not just Fargo Police. Commissioner Tony Gehrig says he expects to impose an improvement plan, though, on FPD, and if it's not met, that could be the end of the line for Zabalski. Gehrig also says he plans to present the specifics of that plan at next Monday's commission meeting.
New information today on the alleged assault by the West Fargo Assistant City Administrator Tim Solberg has been charged with aggravated domestic assault and preventing arrest. Court documents released today say he threw the victim to the ground so hard that she became unconscious. Officers on scene report the victim's neck, chest, and arms were all red, and there was a bump on her head. Court documents say 3 children were inside the home at the time and both heard and saw some of the altercation. Today, 23-year-old Arthur Colley was allowed to withdraw his Alford plea in the fatal stabbing of 14-year-old Jupiter Paulson. An Alford plea is essentially a guilty plea where the defendant maintains they're innocent, but they can't prove it. Colley is accused of stabbing Paulson dozens of times in the Fargo Party City parking lot last June. He told police he'd taken meth earlier that day. Court documents show Colley's sentencing that was set for February 28th has now been canceled. He has a court conference set for next month. At tonight's City Council meeting in Grand Forks, several people spoke out against Mayor Brandon Buczynski for siding with local Catholic bishops over a gender inclusion proposal.
UND's proposal, still in the draft stage, encourages calling transgender students by their preferred pronouns. One speaker tonight told the council about being referred to by their preferred pronouns for the first time and what that felt like.
And you have no idea how good that makes me feel. You have no idea how hard I cried when I heard that for the first time. It was so warm. It was so nice. And I'd like that to happen more. I'd like to get that at school too.
And here's how Mayor Buczynski responded.
I think undoubtedly my words were unduly harsh, and I apologize for that. I'm glad to be able to sit here tonight and listen and learn.
Proposal is still in the draft stage. It's a long way from becoming official. A 35-year-old man has been charged with aggravated assault after authorities say he attacked a woman with a sharp object. Terrence Stevens Jr. was arrested last night in an apartment in the 1700 block of 40th Street South in Fargo. When officers arrived, they said they heard arguing and found the victim with cuts on her body.
New tonight at 10 in a new video by the Minnesota BCA. A Minnesota family shares their story for the first time so others can see how quickly a person can be coerced into sex trafficking. The family says they're proof that victims come from every racial, economic, and educational background. At a press conference explaining and answering questions about the video, BCA Superintendent Drew Evans told reporters every month in Minnesota, more than 10,000 ads are posted online selling victims for sex. Their real-life story is a living, breathing warning about how children and young adults can get forced into sex trafficking. Take a listen.
Things like this don't happen to families like us.
Our daughter's the type of person who wants to trust. She wants to trust everybody. And so she will put her trust into the wrong people immediately, many times.
She got
mixed up in the wrong crowd.
The link to watch that full video is up on our VNL News app and our Facebook page. Just scroll to this story.
Still to come on Valley News Live at 10, we'll hear from men picking up a kind of unusual hobby for men during the pandemic.
And we're stitching together your forecast. It looks like that wind is going to be a problem all night. Look at these drifts at Big Floyd. Thanks for sharing your videos and pictures. Roger, South Moorhead, a mess today with a lot of cars off in the roads. There's some more drifts out in the Big Floyd area. I got to tell you, still windy in your morning commute, but now we're going to factor in the cold. Wind chills will be ridiculous in the morning. Bundle up, get the latest in your forecast. Weather is next.